I'm not funny, so I'm not. So although actually when I'm like in front of a real audience, I start to get my professorial stuff back. But I thought girls go off to college apparently and keep like calling home and texting and calling home and texting. So Ripton did go off to college, and he walked down that long colonnade. It's this place called Elon. And like tears are coming out of my eyes, and Leslie and Morgan have already started walking towards the car because they had enough. And Ripton never looked back. He's like, he kept going the whole time, and I'm looking around and looking around. And then he wasn't in touch with us for like weeks, just not at all. And people kept saying no news is good news, and you know, moms who have sons who went off to college said, well, that's normal. And but I am very sentimental. And so we dropped him off at the end of August. On October 4, he texted me spontaneously. He said, I love you, Dad. So I thought, oh my God. So there was a, there's, what? He needs money? No. Believe me, with Leslie, he doesn't need money. And so he, there was this book called something like I Love You or To the Moon and Back, and it's a little baby nut brown hair and a big daddy nut brown hair. And there's a thing where like they're trying to say, I love you. Well, I love you all the way to the moon and back. So I wrote to Ripton, since I'm not sentimental, okay, sue me. I cry too easily, but you brought tears to my eyes. I love you from here to the moon and back. Keep growing up. I thought 4 days later, nothing. So I texted him. 4 days later, I couldn't handle it anymore, and I texted him, just called to say hi. Hey, he wrote back. That's it. Hey. So 4 days after that, on October 12th, I wrote, sorry I miss seeing you at home. Love you. Always happy to talk to you anytime you have a moment or thought. Walking into a Milwaukee bookstore, because I was in Milwaukee. Nothing. Nothing. And then the next day I wrote, I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan. My credit card was stolen. Life sucks sometimes. Nothing. Then I thought I'd try to turn it into the third person. So 2 days later I wrote, your father loves you. I'm back. Right. I'm back home for a couple of nights, going to Grandma and Grandpa for some readings in Florida. Nothing. So 4 days later, I wrote, tried you in Florida, wanted to say hello. 5 days later, been traveling, called you other day, maybe texted you, forgot your new number, blah, 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 blah. So then finally, I thought, okay, this is like a month later. The Yankees are in the World Series. It's the first day. He's in North Carolina. Right? And so I texted, oh, and Leslie said, don't stop the sentimental stuff, just ask a question. So I said, you around any Yankee fans? Zilch. Nothing. That's it. That's it. No, actually, Leslie had a fantastic idea. Ripton visits his girlfriend. He drives from North Carolina to Washington every weekend, up and back, 5 hours up and back. And the Yankees were on, so she said, why don't you call him while he's driving, because then he's going to, you know, so I did, and then he wanted to talk.